Hello and welcome, everybody. Welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for joining me on this live. I hope you're all doing well today and sending you so much love. Mwah, mwah, mwah. From here, I'm in Ireland still before I go back to Spain. And with me, I have my beautiful friend, Paula Walsh. Say hello, Paula.
Hello, everyone.
And Paula is joining me from the UK today. We're going to have a chat together. And I was called to invite Paula into this chat with me because I felt that the two of us were going to have a co-creation. But would you believe it that Paula was actually one of my first ladies in one of my groups, my Light Language Workshop Level 1 group that joined. She joined a year ago to be activated. And she has been flying it since. She went and she did level 2 with me this year in May, June. And she is part of the co-creative ladies that got together to create Star Tribes of Light group as well, that new community that we were all pulled to create together from our hearts to just spread around the world, light language all around the world in all its forms. And that was a calling that we felt we needed to answer together. So Paula is part of this journey of that I have been on and that she has been on for us to share light language and activate it within others, to heal, to move through the stuff. And I wanted her to be introduced to you all today. She's going to give you a little overview in a moment. I'm going to ask her some questions, and this is going to be fairly informal. And just let this flow, really, Paula. Is this our first time doing a little live together like this?
It is.
Thank you for joining me, and thank you for being in my life. I'm instantly just going to say that. Maybe could you tell these lovely people that are watching or will be watching in the future who you are, where you're from, what you do, just to give a little introduction about yourself.
Yeah, thank you. And it's so lovely to be on here with you. So yeah, I live in Leatherhead in Surrey in the UK. And I have to think now because the last 18 months it sort of merges into one, but last March, just before lockdown, I left my full-time career as a lingerie designer to finally do some deep diving and follow my purpose that I've been putting off for years, and did the I Love You Me training with Tara, which was super powerful for me. It's what allowed me to get to the root of, you know, what I'd been trying to overcome for 30 years. So super powerful process. And then obviously I was lucky enough to meet you through that as well. And I think I did your July container first, just before doing the light language one. And yeah, that was really powerful as well. I think that might have just started the ball rolling with a bit of light language activation. Yeah.
Right, because when more than one gets together, we're going to be sharing each other's keys and codes and unlocking each other. It's always a co-creation, even with somebody that's hosting a workshop. And that's what I always say. It's like a gift to have people attend any workshop that you do, because you're receiving just as much as they hopefully are. So yeah, I get you, Paula. Thank you. It definitely feels serendipitous that the two of us met, because like you said, even before we got on this live, we're having a little chat, and I was like, you were like, it feels like we know each other way longer than just like lockdown, right? Yeah. It feels like a very long time our souls have been playing together in the ethers. Yeah. And I just want to let everybody know as well, and I hope Paula doesn't mind me saying this, but she is one of the kindest, beautifulest, gentlest souls that you will ever meet. She has the essence of peace radiating from her every pore. I know she's gonna blush. She has this way of creating serenity when you're with her, and really I don't think I can get enough of that. As well as she's this totally playful side that can go super deep and still be playful. So it makes it easy to unlock the deepest, darkest stuff within us as well. So I just wanted to say that out loud. It just popped in for me to say this, Paula. Please receive.
Thank you.
Oh, good. So thank you for that introduction about yourself. And of course, you mentioned Tara, and I want to honor Tara as well. For those of you that may not know who Tara is, she is a beautiful, Tara Love Perry is her name. She's currently in France. She's a very good friend of mine. But initially, she was my teacher as well. Maybe that's what happens. We go to a teacher and then we become best friends with them. But she's a very good friend of mine now, and Paula's, and she's a soul reader, and she's the developer and founder of the I Love You Me method, which is what opened me up first to be able to bring through light language as well. In a funny, weird way, it was part of my journey towards healing and accessing truth, because I went and I did soul reading with Tara afterwards as well. And that brought me even deeper into blueprints and codings, and all of this, of course, is linked to light language. You know, nothing is separate, everything is linked. And that's the wonderful thing about us all, because that's how I found you and you found me, is through Tara. Anyway, there's a little spiel, wasn't planned for me to say, but I wanted to talk specifically to you, Paula, today about the light language workshops and what we have been collaborating together as well for this 2 workshops that are coming up, light language level 1 and level 2. And of course, level 3 is in development, but we won't talk about that today. But level 1 is all about activating, expressing and testing or tasting or experiencing, because it's all experiential, non-linear communication and its many forms, its myriad of forms, you know, writing, speaking, singing, painting, body movement, signing, and how that channels and codes through us. So how we can essentially activate that. That's what level 1 is kind of encompassing. And Paula, you did that with me, I think, yeah, last August, wasn't it? It was
I think it was last August. Yeah.
And I wanted to ask you, well, first of all, maybe for those people that are brand new to light language and don't know what is light language, rather than me saying it, like, what is it for you? How would you explain that to people?
For me now, how I tend to explain it for people that maybe have never heard of it before, rather than not to go too woo-woo in the beginning, I kind of just say for people really to just sort of think of it in terms of another form of energy healing, you know, and sound frequency. So obviously, you know, Reiki is obviously very widely known, and you know, to me, light language is just another really powerful form of energy healing. You know, for me, I would say my most dominant is the speaking of it, but it's just, you know, it's super powerful with, you know, with what it brings through to clear energy and to shift blocks. And, you know, you don't really have to worry about, you know, what's happening or maybe the weird sounds that might be coming out, because you just trust that, you know, it goes where it needs to go and it does what it needs to do.
Yeah. How did you experience that workshop, that first, like, what was it like for you to join that?
It's funny because when I was thinking back about that first workshop, even to like when I think back to that, to, you know, me actually posting a Facebook Live in our tribe, you know, when I almost can't believe how far I've come, because I remember, you know, even though you create such a lovely space and it is really warm and it is really friendly and it is really playful, but that time that I had to, you know, actually do, you know, a playful transmission to see if anything would come through, I was so nervous. But I do remember, obviously, you know, something did come through, and, you know, just continued the more that you play with it. And yes, you know, you have that doubt in your mind, don't you? Am I just like making up silly sounds? And until you know, realize that no, actually you're not. And it's, you know, sometimes maybe it's hard to explain, but it just comes through and it just feels so natural and
expression.
normal. Yeah.
With you, I notice you go into this huge flow as well. You just simply, you open like a faucet and you flow. What's that experience like for you?
Amazing. I mean, it's funny, isn't it? Because we all want things that we maybe can't have. And, the ego part of me wants to know, well, what, I want a message, but I can't because, like you say, I just allow it to come through and it comes through just so quickly. And I just trust in what's coming through. And yeah, I get, an idea of the energy that's coming through, but not, specific messages. But I know, obviously, from the people on the receiving end and what they say they felt and what's happening, that it's, it's powerful what's coming through.
It is. Thank you for that, Paula. You mentioned that you have your dominant form is speaking light language. What were the other forms like in level 1 that you experienced? How did you experience them?
Yeah, the dancing and the writing, the movement, and then the art or the writing was good as well. I know for me in the beginning, just where I was at last year, still on my healing journey, I was a little bit self-conscious at first with the movement one, but actually when you just allow yourself to surrender into it, it's great, and it just helps, I think, with moving energy through. But the writing, I think, is really interesting as well because it's very easy again to let the logical brain want to take over, but it's just a nice way again of just trusting and surrendering to what comes, and I think it just helps to, particularly if you are worried that you're blocked to speak or you feel like nothing's coming through, it's a nice way to take the pressure off yourself and just play and experiment, with other modalities and ways of using the light language. And it's just, the way you put it together is just really fun to do. So there's kind of no pressure.
I think that's a really big thing though, because it's funny actually, this is kind of coming in. Sometimes I get messages from people saying, oh, I'm really, I'm being drawn, I'm being pulled. And then this doubt comes through, and I have this before I go and I do something big or something that's going to change. It's like some subconscious block, or ego comes up. Am I ready? Is it now? Maybe I'm going to wait another year or something. Maybe now is not the time. I think, does that come up for us all? Did you experience something like that as well?
Yeah, I did, definitely. But I think it's like anything, if you just allow and just push past that little bit of fear,
right?
I mean, I know as much as I was really nervous having to, when I knew it was going to be my turn and I had to try and speak, the nerves were kicking in, but then afterwards it's that excitement that you feel, that something's starting to unlock and unfold, and I just can't get enough of it now.
Oh,
Love it. Yeah.
I think with anything like this as well, it's really important to have a safe, sacred space to be able to express, because that's one of the big things, isn't it? This is about expression.
Yeah.
And I know it's one of the things I always try as a facilitator, or embody, I don't know what the word is to create a safe, sacred space. Recognizing that we work through things that might come up as well together in the group. Maybe that's more something we see in level 2 as well, because I know you did I obviously know you did level 2 with me. You did level 2 with me. I'm not going to focus too much on level 2 here, but what was that like for you? How would you
I just loved level 2, and I just loved the way, especially because you sort of had that way that we could buddy up with people as well, and within the group, and do that further practice. That was just such good fun to do, and it just took it to another level and just helped to build your confidence even more, having that extra space. And obviously as a whole group anyway, we just so connected
Oh,
Well, so much so we've got our star tribes of light, but it was just the most beautiful space and time that I'll always cherish. And just again, so much amazing content in there. So yeah, thank you.
thank you. I do feel it's always a call. If you have a ping, even if it's a little inkling, there's something there to look at. Because any intention I ever set when I do a workshop is it's from the heart.
Yeah.
I don't do it for any other reason than essentially to answer a call that comes through me, so that others are facilitated on their journey. It's like, that's it. If I fulfill that, I've done my work. Like, and it's everybody else's job after that to answer it. And ye did, like every single one of you did. And I want to say, as a facilitator, anything that we ever do, it's a co-creation, and I receive just as much in a space as everybody else does. So I want to acknowledge and honor that as well, because those ladies are amazing.
Yeah.
Level 2, how I've set that up is essentially you're going to be able to go and, if you wish, do what I do, right? Or do what you do, I should put it that way. And I remember, Paula, when you came into level 2, I hope you're okay with me saying this, I remember part of your intention was confidence, because you mentioned the word confidence, gain confidence.
Yeah.
And how important that was for you. What's your confidence like now, even doing these kind of things with me?
Yeah, it is amazing, because I had such massive one of my things was that I just didn't want to be seen, and expression was a big thing for me. So the I love you me massively helped me with that, but also the light language, because while I was doing the light language, I also had a lot of things come up around past lives where I'd been suppressed, as well. So loads of throat and jaw clearing. But it just helped me each time kind of work through those barriers. And as I say, particularly in the level 2, where we get to play with the others, and then you would give us homework and practice on people, or I think there was an animal pets one, wasn't there, as well, which was great fun, because I did that to a cow out on my walk. But it's just all that time, I mean, like I say, to look back and think where I was starting level 1 to this week, I did a Facebook Live with some light language. It's hard to recognize myself, really. So I'm super grateful.
It's impacted all of your life, really, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has.
Not to toot a horn, but
No, it has.
Ripple out, can't you?
Yeah. And I just, as I say, I can't get enough of it. I'm so passionate about it, even for doing it on myself every day, speaking it when I'm out on my walks, and, just love doing it on other people as well. It's,
it's incredibly powerful. Yeah. Essentially, for me, and how I kind of might describe it as well, is I'm in the essence of prayer whenever I'm in or connecting with light language.
Yeah.
And that is a sacred and holy thing, to be able to just slip in, because sometimes we can just move out, people and things and problems and stories and and instantly just taking a breath, for me anyway, and I let the flow happen. And it's like, as the flow happens, the clearing happens with no work having to be done. It's just done then, and I can at least get clarity. So light language is so many things, for so many people. I don't think it has any limits, actually, now that we're talking about it. Like, I use it for everything. It's like a tool. It's a tool that's so easily accessible. It's incredible. Thank you for your little shares on that. I'm playing with you on the confidence thing, because sometimes I have little downloads or little nudges from spirit to ask people certain things that'll push them outside their comfort zone every now and again. And I know I did that with you quite a bit throughout our journey together. And I have to say, you've answered the call. And one of the most recent ones was that we would collaborate together, actually, on the light language workshops, right? And this is why I wanted to do this live, people. beautiful people, beautiful souls watching. Paula is collaborating with me now on Light Language Level 1 and 2 as a resource. She's coming in as a sacred resource for us. And she's going to be available to work with one-on-one during the workshop process. That's for any of you that might need extra support. It's for any of you that need more clarity or guidance or connection into the higher self, the soul, whatever it is. Paula is going to be there to guide you on it. I'm going to actually ask her to give us a little, because you have your own way of doing it, Paula, so I'm going to get you to maybe tell others what this would look like, that working one-on-one with you, how it can be useful for people, maybe why they come looking for you as well. So I'm just going to hand it over now, and what would you like to share with people on that?
Yeah, well, for this space, which is what I've tended to do more and more now, with people that obviously are open to the light language, or they know about light language, is sort of combining the I love you me, and then at the end also doing a clearing with the light language, because I just find it brings in that real extra powerful clearing at the end as well. But as you know, with the I love you me, it's just a really beautiful way of, facilitating someone to go in and just discover what it is they're holding in the body, because as we all know, it's not up in the mind, we're holding it in the body. And that was what was so powerful for me, that although on a conscious level I knew certain events that had happened when I was younger, but I didn't realize I'd got all these little parts of me that were still in trauma, that needed seeing and hearing and loving. And so it's a super powerful process that obviously with the light language, when you're going through the course, it can unlock things that we haven't seen that we need to see. And of course it has to happen for you to clear all that, to be able to bring on more with the light language. So it's just a really good way of being able to gain clarity on what it is that comes up for you, whether it's something from this life or a past life, which obviously does happen a lot, because it's about tapping into your gifts again and what might have happened to you before when you were using your gifts. So it's just a really powerful way, while the I love you me, of bringing clarity to that and then clearing it through, but also bringing the light language through is just another powerful element to clear things as well.
Yep. And I love you me, and I always say, it's about self-love, but it also gets us into the inner child, but also at the same time, it's non-linear in its own way. I love you me it's a process, but it's a non-linear process. It'll get anywhere within any cellular structure that you need, be it emotional, physical, mental, etheric, karmic, ancestral. I mean, you've covered it there. And even when I've had, you've done sessions on me, Paula, we've shared them together, and I've had other planetary stuff come through. So it can be used for the grounded here and now physical, but also it can go quite high into, when I say high now, just out into the blueprint of the soul. And the reason I want this offered to those of you coming and joining me in this workshop is these are very powerful healing containers. It is no joke coming in here. They're beautifully fun and they're beautifully expansive, but equally incredibly healing. And what I'm seeing more and more and more of now, because our timelines, and I'm going to get a little woo-woo here, because we're merging and converging rapidly right now in this particular time as we're offering these next ones, our blueprints are activated quite heavily right now as well. So having somebody like Paula as a resource is going to help you get more clarity, get more guidance, and untangle anything that needs to be untangled, along with the group support. So you're having individual support should you need it, and group support, and you cannot get anything more powerful than that. Essentially all your bases are covered. You're covered from every angle. So I wanted to thank Paula for saying yes to the call.
Thank you.
And I might have a few more surprises for those of you joining on level 1 and 2 as well, which I will reveal at a later date. I just need to get some things tidied up, but a lot more bonuses coming through. Again, in your own development and support for your experience, because this is an experience. It's a physical, embodied experience, and it's an emotional experience, and it's spiritual. It's everything: mind, body, soul, heart, womb. All of the creation, sound, light, and vibration moving through you. It is like a rapid way. If you ever saw there was a mountain far away, we are the bridge together. We're the bridge to get you across. So you don't have to go down the valleys and you don't have to walk millions of miles. We build a bridge and you're there, right? That's the whole point of these workshops. They're a way for you to get from A to B with more ease and grace, and hopefully by the collapsing of timelines as well. So that is part of this as well, without getting too deep or too wide in it. But what else did I want to share?
The thing, I think as well is, like you say, it is so powerful with what comes up. So I would just as well really just encourage anyone that does it to just really, go for it and immerse yourself in everything, because you put a lot of great content in there. And, I know it can be difficult with different time zones, but the good thing is that I know you put votes up for timings of lives as well, just to try and make sure everyone can see a live, because, as we know, well, you can, of course, you can watch the catch up, but also it's just something very special, I think, about attending it live as well. And then you will really get the most out of it if you just really embrace it all, because it's, super powerful.
Absolutely. Thank you for mentioning that. I did have a few questions in my inbox around I mightn't be able to make this live, but people don't need to worry about that, because so many bonuses, so many catch-ups, so many extra labs will be offered as well in the group. You will catch lives no matter what. And there's always the replay. It's quantum transmission. Even if you can't get them, there's always the replay. But what I'm going to be bringing in as a bonus will hopefully fill in all those gaps as well. So thank you for mentioning that, Paula. There was one last thing I wanted to mention. I want us to do a transmission just to close this out for the highest good. I'm just leaving this as for the highest good of all, whoever watches it. And we'll do, a 3-4 minute transmission. And I'm just going to invite our I am presences in, and invite you watching as well, just to listen to your heart, what your heart call is. Is this for you and your highest good? And you've heard a lot about what Paula got from this, but you're going to get what you need. So people are like, well, what are the benefits of doing something like this? And really, there has been so many instant manifestations, miraculous healings. I am going to use the word miraculous. There's been instant miraculous physical healings. And that's not by me. That is by the person. They have been ready and they have opened up and allowed and received. There has been money manifestations, new homes. There has been relationships that have, maybe they've left, that haven't been so good, and new ones have come through that are. There's been job opportunities. Essentially, people's lives are changing and shifting because they're changing and shifting, and this is the tool that's helping them. It's not the only one. We all know that. But if this is calling you, then maybe it's the one for you on your journey. And I don't go around selling things. It's an invite, right? This is an invite because only your soul will know. Paula, how does that sound? Let's move into what is in the highest good, a transmission, as we invite in our higher selves. And I'm going to invite in the beings of our lands, because Paula is in the UK, very magical place. I'm in Ireland right now. I'm going to invite in the light beings above and below. And when I say below, I mean the earth, the grid work, Mother Earth, nature, the elementals, the dragons, the fae, angels, soul star, tribe, family, the galactics, and all beings of light that need and want to be here. We have some big angels coming through, Metatron's coming in, and Archangel Michael quite strongly right now. the emerald dragons. We have the two-headed Dan and Fae as well. They're just standing way out, making themselves known as well. And Paula, I can feel with you. You're bringing in some dolphin stuff as well, some Atlantean, Lemurian. Okay, you're okay with me saying that? We're going to invite in some new beings from other universes that are waiting at Tanya. Come on in for the highest good. They're here to help assist Earth, and they'll assist you. Whatever you need right now, this is for you. So make your intention, take it in. We'll do a simultaneous transmission.
Kia noa kataya kua nai. Kia noa ya kataya. Kua nai. Kua
Kuye.
Itupu ua shana ya kataya. Kua nanayaka. Kua nanayaka. Kua nanayaka taaya sua shana yaka. Kua saya. Kua saya. Kua saya naka aya kua shaka. Kua sa. Kua sa. Kia no kua sa. Kia kua sa. Kia shutu kua sana yaka. Kua kataya no kua sa. Kiede kutua kata aya no kutua kata. Kiede kutua aya.
Kundodi amnani hiniana hote mashakataye manahayetu indi saraktam nenonone e burkut o shut e mala ikaraka sotukuya kashitiki burko sotukundani iria are or sip 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 sap se ip sip 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 sap se ip sip 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 sap se sam se in se ne ems abs was ems ibs abs was ibs 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 was ams e ni wa ni hoshonyai. So there's some of those new beings from the galactics. Paula, bring it in. Kutana he toki e o aha di aha akea utokwanye ati mahane e. Take a breath in. So we have Andromeda elementals, Okana Hati, we've had the ancients, Hokani Hetima, we have the new galactics that came through, and they're going to start clearing through the various chakra centers and points on you, and they want you to soften into your sitting space as you release the rest. That transmission as Paul is bringing it in. Ishutu no he akata ishutu kuhira una manahete burkuta ishiti kwale ramzana no uturuku arexaye epsi e ala kiana no o shuka ihinzi asakwa no oko ishichi chiwa kata ye hati Hatia noso he akatan ye e aswaye uhandia kea karaha rukiana maa Ashawa. It gives us so much pleasure to be with you here today. Wa'ashi, as you are both in your divine expressions and you share this with others for them to be the same. Urala samzanai. Iha, we dance in the ethers and we invite the holy fire flames Abshanye to dance within all of you watching and watching in the future. Receive the holy fire. Shuturu area ataye. Bushukate anana e soto. Takaanye ataham. Bring it through, Paula.
Kia tua kaya nukua. Kia nua kata aya kua shanayaka. Kua nayaka. Kua nayaka ta aya sua shanayaka. Kuaka. Kuaka. Kua kaya nukua aya kua shata aya kua kata aya. Kua kata aya kua shanayaka. Uaka. Kuaka aya no kua shanaya kata aya kuaka aya u I or a
Iatu. Chaye. Sanyesiye. Asakaye. Inya otoko. Beautiful heart openings. Woo. Inviting the grounding dragons now, please. Just to anchor that through, and everybody just breathe into the base of your bellies, the base of your sitting spaces. Very uplifting transmission. Ochanye. Let's bring down the energy to the base. I'm just getting like you might want to move, do circular motions, stamp the feet, bring them into the earth. Big breath in. That's the thing about light language. It's non-linear. You do not need to understand every word spoken. It is received into the heart and into the soul and into the energy field blueprint. It builds a beautiful architecture for you that will be activated when you need it. Ataye kiana aukuye. I want you to take a breath in and make a softening, opening. Good. Thank you all for joining. Thank you, Paula. There was some super energies there, super high energies. Like, wow. I don't know if you knew that, but some of your sound was cutting out because I could feel the frequency was so high, you were like cutting out.
oh, was it?
Yeah, but I could feel, people will still feel it. Beautiful beings, several beings coming through from you and energy collectives. I've like popping in my ears right now, so I'm just gonna if anybody has that, the ringing in the ears, the popping, just open and close your jaw and take a breath in. Drink lots of water. That was just a playful transmission from our hearts to you for the highest good. It's only going to go where you need it. What you don't need won't go anywhere. Highest good for you. That was our intention. Thank you all for watching. Thank you, Paula.
Thank you.
Goodbye, everybody. We
Bye.
post the links below. You can click on them. You can book in with Paula, book in for the workshop, and then you'll be able to book in with Paula. And we will be starting end of October, November. We will see you then. Mwah! We love you. Bye.